My name is KennyHoopla. I'm an artist and we're in LA right now doing rehearsals. My band has never actually rehearsed before. So we figured we should probably do that eventually, especially for these big shows like something like Warped Tour. And the least I could do is show up for my fans and people in the best way possible.
All the ancient things, which more than ever win in the lottery, look alive. Don't listen to me, I'll never tell you the right way to grease your sound. Start shaking the floor, scary sound. Start shaking the floor, like the song that I'm singing before. Look alive.
I feel like I just kind of black out when I'm on the stage. I go into this weird place of anxiety and escapism and I just kind of like disappear. Do I live for it? The truth is that I feel empty most of the time. And rarely do I feel like stoked. I just feel grateful and really lucky. Hopefully one day I feel happy, but I just feel so grateful because I know the situation that I came from, and I cannot believe there's this much people or someone even wants to pay me to like do this. And that's really what goes into it. And I guess a lot of it is me just trying to connect and feel something and pathetically prove myself. And that's maybe where the more intense part comes in, where I'm like breaking my body for people and stuff like that and giving them a show. Jeez, that sounds kind of depressing. But probably when I'm listening to it in the car and I feel like I can live to it and I feel like it's something that I could die to also. And I feel like I'm still not there yet with any of my songs. That's the truth. A lot of my music, my back has been pinned against the wall time-wise, just to be consistent and, you know, keep feeding the fans. But I feel like I haven't done that just yet. Truthfully, I feel like I haven't really painted that true picture yet. When people like it, people want to cry when I'm playing it for people and they nod their head. When they don't nod their head, I know I need to go back to the lab because that's what it's all about is the head nod and being able to dance to it and stuff like that. For the most part, because I'm thinking about the audience live and the audience living to it. I'm wondering, is this song easy enough for them to listen to in bed next to the lover? Is this song aggressive enough for them to listen to when they're walking home from school and they just had a terrible day? Is this song comforting enough when they just got some of the worst news in their life? I try and make it universal. It can't always be universal, you know, because some sonics just aren't meant for that, you know, like you can't mosh to an acoustic song and that's okay. But I try and check those boxes, and that also goes into it live. Can They Cry to This? Is that note of that string like heart-wrenching enough? Is it melancholic enough for someone to start dazing off during the performance and get like lost in it and stuff like that? I always want it to be super dialed, but I'm trying to learn that I can't control everything, and I'm just not an artist that's at that level yet to where it's like, you know, that synth track isn't going to sound as good as like a literal synth on stage. And, you know, I'm just not at that place where I can hire a full band all the time. And I've been trying to practice not having control of everything and finding the beauty in that and letting that be the story and letting the audience and the people grow with me. That's kind of my defense mechanism for that. And then the other answer to that would be, I feel like I can never get it right. I never have enough time. Even today we have like a day, which is fine. But once again, that's like the first time we've gotten to practice, and like out of 7 shows, and there's so much songs, so much genre switches. You know, we're not like pulling up with like a crazy rack like you'd see like a slightly larger artist, which is okay, but yeah, it's just not perfect. There's not a lot of time, and it's just not in my hands as much right now, and that's okay. So it's exciting to see what we come out with. I feel like this new music is the closest to Kenny that I've gotten in my discography so far, because I just quite simply made the time for it, and I've learned a lot. I've just been through a lot, like something as simple as understanding what compression is now, and now I know why the Telecaster sounds like that and the Strat, you know. I went through a lot. I killed off a lot to have the time to make that a priority to learn. And I feel like that you can hear the difference. This is the biggest hand in production that I've ever had in my music. And you can kind of hear, what I'm getting at in my first EP. And that was kind of me being like, oh, I can do this and that. But here it's more refined, and it's more so like, this is really what I love. I think I've always loved indie rock. I've always loved like electronic, you know, indie pop, like Group Love, like Tudor Cinema Club, Phoenix. All of that stuff I grew up on, and that's really been my love, like Passion Pit and Aphex Twin and stuff like that. And I feel like I haven't really gotten a chance to show that, and I feel like I'm doing that now and expressing myself in a way. And I tried to be more on the nose this time. I tried to, you know, be more heavy in my references with the sound and stuff like that, and not go super far left and be like, no, this is literally what I'm getting at, and it's supposed to be on the nose so you can get to know me more and knowing where I'm coming from as an artist. I battled for a long time with what the difference between plagiarism and inspiration was for a long time growing up, and I didn't really get it. I would listen to whatever, a lot of artists around me, and I'm like, dude, they pretty much just ripped that. Why are people okay with that? Why are they like parading that? It's not original. But I've just kind of finally understood through my own, you know, journey that that's what art is. It's just like, I guess like repurposing and just like continuing a language. And that's the beauty of it, is seeing how you can rebox this sentence the other person said. So I think that's definitely what I'm not shying away from anymore. And I think it's necessary for me to do to also just be identifiable in the place that I want to be in culture and in my career. So it was just very necessary for me. I brought the song to Zach Farrow. He was in Nashville. Thank God that he was down. So I drove from Wisconsin like 10 hours, just driving through like craziest tornadoes. Thought I was gonna die at one point. And then we just worked on it for like a day and a half. And that's like what we came out with. You know, he gave me some of his time and I'm very grateful for it. It's just always good to learn. And that's something that I try and say to everyone, any OG that I go into the studio with, where it's like, I want to know what you think. I want to know what I'm doing bad and what I'm doing good, because I want to learn and I want to be at that level one day. So it's important for me to be a student. I hope I walk in like, and I fucking suck, so I can learn something. Oh, this pedal does that, and why are you doing this? And this is the process, and this is what patience looks like. Oh, that's what a process is, little things like that. And I realize I'm in such a lucky situation, because people would like dream to be in these rooms that I'm in. So I try not to take it for granted and like soak up as much game as I can and just like lead with grace, because I'm so lucky to get the knowledge of these people that have like literally changed music. So that's like my whole thing with that. The main inspiration, it was like, it started with second verse, or it's besides all the ancient things, much more than ever, winning the lottery. And it kind of just started, basically, my mom passed 3 years ago. And then someone that's super close to me, her mom passed. And it's like we were trying to like build each other up, or I wanted to make her stronger and help, but there's kind of like no right way to grieve. And so like, it just kind of felt like I was like an orphan. And then it also felt like I was an orphan as an artist, where I left my label, I got out of my label, I had no team at the moment, kind of felt like I really had like no one in my corner, and I was just starting from the ground up. And it's okay to have no one in your corner. That's what it is. And that's what it costs to build something yourself. It's like adversity and getting to know yourself. And I think that's a blessing. But it just all came from this concept of just being an orphan like that. So, and then the whole look alive thing is just, you know, even in this interview, like you just have to be on and look alive. And that was Zach. He's like, that's the hook, look alive. And I was like, you sure? And you know, not everybody likes it.